This video is best viewed in full screen mode, and on YouTube that's this icon right here. And if you have a high bandwidth connection, you also want to watch it in HD, which is this icon right here. Alright, now we're getting way down into the minutia. But one other thing I want to show you is we're going to create a document here. And this, we call it a judgment debtor summary. And it's got the judgment debtor's name in here. And this is the important thing I want to make you aware of. And it's a lot like our other report, except it doesn't have the judgment debtor column, because we don't need that. Because in this scenario, we're only going to pull out the information for this particular judgment debtor. So we're going to close that, and we're going to create that document. And it's going to ask us, and this is important, it's asking us which judgment debtor that do you want. So I'm going to select Tamara Bourne. And because the system asks you which judgment debtor you want, which means that you, by design, only want this to be about a specific judgment debtor, then the system is smart enough to know when it prints out these rows, it's going to skip this one for Jill Jackson, because the system knows that you only want to print out the data for Tamara Bourne. So we'll say use selected item, and it's going to bring this up again because we have rows that are going to be blank in the form. And then there you go. And shrink this down a little bit. And what it did is we plugged in Tamara's name, because that's the one we selected, and then when it went out and populated this grid, it went through and said, oh, okay, you only want information on Tamara Bourne, so when I populate this grid, I am not going to pull out the information for Jill Jackson. And just an FYI, if you had one of these that was blank and you hadn't selected judgment debtor's name yet, it would pull that out too. So that's basically what's going on there. That's something that you may use if you want to print out a report just about one particular judgment debtor. Alright, let's talk about printing items out of this action grid. It's a little bit unique. First, let's look at the document that I want to create. And that's this one right here. And it says a lien on your real property was recorded on, and it's got this merge field right here. Now, how I got that merge field was, go over here and you say Documents, Merge Fields, Show Merge Fields in Form. You'll see that the abstract filed has the date field of this right here. And this is unique in that this 108 is always tied to this abstract. So if it was down here at the bottom, it doesn't matter where you put it into the grid, the date field for when the abstract was filed would always be the A.108_DT. So we're going to hide those merge fields, and this is what we're going to create here. And create the document, and then there it is. And if you notice this date was pulled directly from there. So that is how you would create a document that wanted to pull out one particular action out of all these actions and put it into your document. Alright, now let's talk about printing out this entire grid into a report. If you want to print this whole grid out into a report here, what we do is I want to go ahead and at the same time show you this, the Show Merge Fields and List. And what this does is it just goes through and show you all the merge fields that are in the database. And let's take a look at the judgment, or the judgment debtor's name, because we are pretty familiar with that by now. If you notice, it's got the generic or the default merge field name. And then over here, what it does is it just shows you that you can also use this field with a -1 or a -2 or -3 because there's 3 judgment debtors. So this just shows you the field name, and the field name, if it can be used with a dash number past it, it shows up here in this column. What we want to do here is we are going to go up to the actions, and these fields here are talking about how you can print out the action grid directly like the other grids. And it's really pretty simple. You just have your description -1, your date -1, and your comment -1. And we can close this here, and I'm going to open the documents folder, and we're going to look at this here. And this is what we're going to create here. We're going to create this document, and it's just going to put in the action description, the action date, and the action comment, and it's just got a dash for every row in the grid that we want to populate. So we close that, documents, and create document, demo 10, and there you are. It's going to show you a few fields that are end up blank because we have blank rows in the grid. And there it is. There is your action grid printed out into a document. Okay, well, we pretty much covered everything there is to go over in regards to documents. As you can tell, there's really nothing in the database that you cannot put into a document or some sort of report. And hope you found this both useful and informative. One other feature was added after this original video was made, and that is in regards to showing merge fields in this grid over here. There's two ways of extracting the information out of this grid. One way is if you want to do it by specific action, in which case you take the field names here that are tied into the actions to the left. Also, if you wanted to just print out the entire grid, you could take and create a report that has these merge fields in them, which are basically is just dumping whatever happens to be in that particular row. So that shows the merge fields by action, and that shows the merge fields by row, and that was a new feature that was added that I wanted to make you aware of. Also, one other feature that was added is this new area right here where you have a case folder. And what that is about is if you have any documents that you create, whatever the case may be, and you want to save them someplace, there's a specific folder that you can use that you can get to use by clicking on that link. And there you go, is your case folder. And by default, the case folder name will be made up based upon the style of the judgment, but you can put in here anything that you want. And for example, you save it as my folder and hit save, and then when you open it up, it says my folder. And if you say document, you want to create a document, and here's our document here. You can just do File, Save As, and you go up one level to your case files, and there is the one I just have my folder, and you just save it in there. So that's just a little feature that was added so you can organize files related to your judgment